A few months ago, I was at a dinner gathering, and I ended up sitting next to a woman named Monica. She's 44, just got promoted to a senior leadership role at her company, and is finally earning a solid six-figure income, around 160K annually. We started chatting about money, and then she dropped a line I've heard countless times before. She said, "Bobby, I think it's too late for me. I should have started investing in my 20s. I've already missed my chance to build real wealth." And I could see it in her eyes. A mix of resignation and defeat, like her financial future was locked in by choices she didn't make 20 years ago. Here's the thing that really frustrates me. Monica isn't an outlier. I meet people like her all the time, late 30s, 40s, even early 50s, who've convinced themselves that their best earning and investing years are behind them, that compounding only works magic for those who start in their early 20s, and that it's too late for everyone else. But here's a truth that might shock you. Monica is mistaken. The traditional advice about starting early is incomplete at best and potentially harmful at worst. The financial world fails to highlight one critical factor. How much you invest, your contribution intensity, matters just as much as timing. And for most people, contribution intensity peaks in the 40s. Today, we're going to do the real math, challenge some sacred personal finance assumptions, and hopefully lift the guilt and shame that many feel for not starting to invest in their 20s. Let's dive in. I'm Bobby, and I've spent the last few weeks reviewing income trends, investment projections, and getting increasingly irritated at how the media distorts compound interest and the importance of starting early. If you feel like your 20s were wasted, think you're behind, or avoid retirement calculators because you fear the numbers, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. What I'm about to show you isn't wishful thinking. It's solid math proving something the personal finance world doesn't want to admit. Late starters with high contribution intensity can outperform early starters who invest smaller amounts. Once you see why, you might feel empowered instead of paralyzed. Let's tackle the elephant in the room. You've seen those charts. The ones showing person A starts investing at 25, person B at 35, and even though B invests more overall, A ends up with more money due to compound interest. These charts are everywhere. Every financial advisor uses them. Every Start Early article features them. My problem? They're misleading, not because the math is wrong, but because the assumptions are unrealistic. Every one of these examples assumes both people invest the same monthly amount. Person A invests a certain sum from 25. Person B invests the same amount from 35. Then they announce that person A wins. Well, no kidding. Here's what those charts never account for. Who, in their 20s, can realistically invest a significant monthly sum? Let's look at real data. Median income for Americans in their early 20s is around $36K per year. After taxes, that's roughly $2,800 per month. Now, consider typical expenses. Rent in most cities takes up $100, $100 to $400. Student loans, since many grads carry them, consume $300, $400. Add insurance, transportation, phone, utilities, and food. After covering basics, not much is left to invest. A recent study found that Americans in their 20s save about 7 to 8% of income on average. On 36K, that's around $250 per month, not the $500 often assumed in financial articles. Many save even less, and a significant portion saves nothing at all while paying down debt or getting established. Now, consider someone in their 40s. Median income for Americans aged 45 to 54 is closer to 65K, almost double the 20s income. But here's the key. Expenses don't scale in the same way. A 45-year-old isn't paying double rent, double car payment, or double phone bill. Major burdens from their 20s, student loans, setting up a home, establishing credit, are gone or much smaller. A 25-year-old on 36K might save $250 per month, but a 45-year-old earning 65K could easily save $200, $400. That's a 5 to 6-fold increase in contribution intensity. Plugging these realistic numbers into a compound interest calculator flips the story. Let's create two characters. Early start Emma invests at $25, following conventional wisdom, consistent, leveraging compound interest. But as a realistic 25-year-old, she can only afford $200 per month while paying rent, loans, and living expenses. Late start Linda waits until 40, after building her career, paying off debt, and maybe raising kids. Now a senior professional with stabilized costs, she can invest $400 per month. According to conventional wisdom, Emma should dominate. She has 15 extra years of compounding. But the math tells a different story. Emma invests $200 a month from 25 to 65, 40 years. At 7% annual returns, she ends up around $520,000. She contributed roughly $96K, and compounding grew it beyond $500,000. Linda invests $400 a month from 40 to 65, 25 years, 15 fewer than Emma. Same 7% return, and she ends up around $1.05 million, more than double Emma's total. She contributed about $420K, with compounding adding another 630K. Linda started later, invested fewer years, yet amassed more than twice the wealth. Why? Contribution intensity. How much you put in each month can matter more than time. You might say, that's unfair. Linda invested more. Exactly. That's my point. Realistic scenarios matter. Median 25-year-olds cannot invest $1,400 per month. It's math, not discipline. Median 45-year-olds often can. Early start advice isn't wrong. It's incomplete. A better message. Invest what you can now, but your prime wealth building years may still lie ahead. Here's the danger. Constantly emphasizing early investing creates a generation in their 30s and 40s who feel like failures before even starting. That mindset has real financial consequences. Believing you've lost stops you from playing. Feeling too late stops you from starting. I've spoken to countless people not investing, not because they can't, but because they feel it's pointless. But even $500 per month from 38 to 65 grows to over $440,000. Not as much as starting at 25, but infinitely better than zero. Psychology calls this learned helplessness. You think your actions don't matter, so you stop acting. The relentless should have started earlier. Messaging has created financial learned helplessness in millions. But here's the truth. The window doesn't close until your last day. Every day you earn is an opportunity to build wealth. Time matters, but contributions matter too. Most people peak in their 40s. Higher income, stabilized expenses, accumulated experience, the perfect storm for wealth building. Let's review. 20s. Building skills, credentials, often debt, lifestyle setup, not wealth accumulation. 30s. Income rises, expenses rise, house, kids, parents, often lowest savings decade despite higher earnings. 40s. Income near peak, major costs stabilize, margin emerges. Contribution intensity becomes possible. Data shows retirement accounts grow fastest between 40 to 55, not because of market returns, but because contributions are higher. Taxes even reward late starters. Over 50? Catch-up contributions. Retirement plans allow extra annual contributions. The system literally encourages high contributions later because math shows it works. Example, 50-year-old starts with almost nothing, maxes retirement contributions, and after 17 years at 7% annual growth, ends up with over 1.15 million life-changing wealth in just 17 years. If you're in your 40s feeling behind, here's the takeaway. Stop dwelling on the past. Today could be your most powerful wealth-building moment. Income likely higher, expenses more stable, contribution capacity at peak. Get aggressive. Max out retirement and investment accounts. Trim unnecessary spending. Stay in growth assets. And remember, the game isn't over. Every working year is an opportunity. I'm not saying late start beats early start. If you're in your 20s, start now, even $100 a month. But if you're 40 plus, hear me clearly. Your most powerful wealth building years might be now. Peak earnings, stabilized expenses, and urgency make your 40s potent. Contribution intensity now can offset missed time. Stop using "I should have started earlier" as an excuse. The wealth building game is live. You're in it. Play it right, ramp up contributions, and you can achieve the financial security you thought was gone. It's not too late. Time to get serious. If this changed your perspective on starting late, hit subscribe and share with someone in their 40s who needs to hear their best financial years may be ahead. See you next time.